Tobacco Road. Welcome to Raleigh, North Carolina, Carter Finley Stadium, and home to the NC State Wolfpack. As we'll see a squad from the Big 12, the Miami Hurricanes, taking on a team that ranks in the top 5 in this conference, the NC State Wolfpack. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollard with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. NC State with the kickoff team on the field and just about ready to start. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Snags a quick pass on the left. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Well, that receiver's looking at his teammates like, guys, what's up? You're not going to block for me on the screen? Seriously? I just lost yards on a screen play. How does that happen?
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. There he goes. He'll step out of bounds right at the 44. A big-time pickup on that one. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. In that time, quarterback, nice job, buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield. Nothing there, so instead of throwing it away and getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
A shot toward the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete, going for broke on second down. The third down's coming up.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls against this receiver and his speed. He's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
Gets it out quickly. And it's a catch, but he's got enough for the first down.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time play.
And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
And they get to the quarterback and get the sack. That's a big emphasis for this defense. They saw a week ago, this offense gave up 3 sacks. They need to get to him early and often and create some indecision. Nice job getting a sack early in this football game.
Makes the grab on the left. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Snagged out of the air. Just outside the red zone as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 22. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
They were able to make the completion, but he had to pick his way for just a little bit. Needed a little more help to spring him for some yardage.
Yeah, if you're going to have success when you throw it outside like that, you're going to need some more blocking and better blocking downfield. Give the defense credit, though. They were able to rally and made a tackle.
Touchdown, Miami! Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board.
You love as a head coach to watch your offense take the field and establish a rhythm and consistency the way they did there. Everything they dialed up was working to perfection. They go 10 plays on the opening drive and cap it off with a touchdown.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the PAT makes it 7-0. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Fielded in the end zone. It's Raymond. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. Making side adjustments here. Wants to throw on first down. Finds the tight end. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, there was just nowhere to go for the runner on that last play. Just way too much penetration up front, and as a result, they lose yardage.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to fire. He's got his man across the middle. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. The give on the option. Puts it on in midfield. Nice job to pick up the first down, and they'll spot it at the 42.
No secret sauce, no tricking people. 3rd down and 1. I got to be the more physical team, Jesse, and they were.
And it's so nice, too, when you've got playmakers like that guy that can take a play that's only designed maybe to get a couple yards and turn it into a big game. This offense is loaded with weapons.
And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, and you're seeing the balance this offense has and how they can create explosive plays in a variety of ways. We just saw one come in the run game, and now you see one coming in the passing game. I'll tell you, they've got this defense on their heels.
Tight end finds a soft spot. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
And nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
The Wolfpack hoping to pay off this red zone trip. Wants to go up top. Unloads to the wideout. Working on the right. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. The offense changing the play. To the air on first down. And he's feeling the heat, and he will go down. Final play of the first quarter, and not the way he wanted to end it.
Miami 7, NC State 0.
So 2nd down here as we're back at it after the break. Back to pass. It's picked off. 13th time he's done that this year. Trying to take it back. Inside the touchdown, Hurricanes. This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone. Look, I know it's only the 2nd quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. Slips through the line. Just got a little room. Just an outstanding return there and really sets up his offense nicely. the back on the option to give.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
Oh, did he find a hole in the defense? He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has him on the doorstep.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
And you got to get locked in the red zone. A lot of defensive coordinators, they'll tell you, we'll give up yards, but we got to understand what we're trying to get accomplished. Great job down here near the goal line. This defense bowing their neck up and getting a big stop.
Might be calling a hot route. Wants to fire on second down. And with a hallelujah land. Touchdown, North Carolina State. After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into them.
And you see it all the time, right? You get that score, you get that energy, the crowd gets involved, and the defense got to get out and get you a stop. But this was step one to getting them back in the ballgame.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Coming out with it, it's Bean. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. He'll keep it himself. Shakes off the defender.
Well, I'll tell you what, just watching this QB in the run game, he's going to break, at some point in this game, he's going to break a home run. Defense did a nice job getting him down there, but this guy, I'm telling you, he's just a play away from taking it to the house. Keep letting this guy do his thing.
Pressure coming. Plows through the defense. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
Man, it's so hard. Keep a rabbit in the cage, that quarterback, right? He's going to scramble around. He's going to make plays, and when he gets outside the pocket, you're just trying to get a hand on him. How about getting a hand on him, forcing the fumble, and recovering it? Great job by the defense continuing to chase that QB.
The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied, and the timeout is gone. He is going nowhere. Stops at the line of scrimmage.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run it up the middle, try different things to see what you do well.
To the air on second down. Throws to the wideout. Got a man in the middle. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. They're in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 20. Looking downfield on 1st down. Blasted as he lets it go. Touchdown, NC State! They get it into the end zone to pay off that opportunity. The extra point here would tie the game. And they add the extra point to finish the drive. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Michigan left little doubt. You know, this version of the Maize and Blue can hang with any of the teams of the past. And remember, this is a program with multiple national titles. All that speculation all week, and now we know. Something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a 1st down. While the Canes are known for big-time playmakers, tough physical running is part of it, too.
Yeah, you got to be able to have a team that not just is about sizzle, and we've seen so many Miami teams about sizzle, but some substance with some physicality, the run game.
QB got it himself. At the 35, he's got room. He's finally stopped, but a big play there with his feet as he moves those sticks. The Hurricanes want to pick up the tempo. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 29. Looking to throw on 1st down. Got his man. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down. They've done a really good job identifying mismatches, and they find one out of the backfield there.
Reese, I really don't think it's that hard. My guy is better than yours. Find the matchup across the field. Running back's got some speed. Get it in his hands quickly. Throw it to him fast.
Touchdown, Canes! The offense cashing it in on that drive.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it out. It's Raymond. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. They'll start this drive going to the air. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down mark. NC State comes to the line to deal with 3rd and short.
You know, that's a great job by the receiver on that curl route. There's a lot of receivers that finish the route and they just stop. And that allows the...
Makes the catch on the right side. A big play, gets it into plus territory, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 44.
And you just could not allow that to happen defensively, giving up a big play like that. They're going to need to now play with some sense of urgency if they're not going to give up any points here before the end.
A shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, Wolfpack. They went for the big play, and boy, did it ever pay off.
Man, that is picture-perfect execution by this offense. That is how you close a half. Chewing up some time, getting in the end zone, a chance to tie this up and feel really good about yourself going into halftime.
They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the 1st half. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Looking for a huge play. And they can't make the connection, going for a big play on 1st down. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Looking to fire. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming.
I don't know if the quarterback read the coverage properly on that one, but obviously the result is an incompletion.
Feels as if the whole city of Raleigh is trying to help out the Pack on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Buys a little extra time. On the run, deep down the right side.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable 3rd and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters, and I know the pass is coming, so I can have more success.
Kick is in the air. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? He'll start this drive going to the air. Unloads it downfield. Grabs it off the 25 in stride. They'll immediately call timeout.
Man, this quarterback is having himself a day. Over 200 yards in the first half. It was hard enough for Palmer to get over 200 in a game.
And here's a fumble way behind the line. Bounced right back to them. The offense quickly calls timeout to stop the clock.
Well, the offense is able to avoid disaster right there. Problem is they fumbled it, but thankfully they were able to jump back on and not have a turnover.
So now on 2nd and long, you start to think just don't fall out of field goal range. There's the pressure. And those two couldn't make the connection. It's an incomplete pass.
I know that one hit the ground, but you haven't seen that a lot. He completed over 70% of his throws in their last game. He's over 80% in this game. My old offensive coordinator, Sean Payton, used to say, bore me with...
Unleashes one deep. And good hands there by the defense on that shot to the end zone.
In the last couple of weeks, man, you're getting a lot of consistency from this QB. And you got to love it as a play caller, man. You can drop him back. You can throw the ball a ton. You can trust him, getting the ball to different wide receivers. He's really in a good groove the last couple games.
Oh, and the attempt is no good. And here in the second quarter, we remain all knotted up.
And just not enough leg on that kick. You see it just gets knocked down by the crossbar.
Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Hurricanes will boot it away to start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Across the 25 to the 26 before going out of bounds, and that's where the offense will go to work. North Carolina State has it back in the offense, headed to the field. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Palmer? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
Now this offense facing a 3rd and long from their own 30. To the ground with the back. And the defense had its hands full, but they finally wrestle him down short of the 1st down.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. Leaves it with the running back. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Going to swing it on 2nd down. Picked off. What a
say that there is a safety who's the most dangerous guy on the field with the ball in his hands. Did you see that guy and his ability in the open field once he picked it off? There was nobody on offense even coming close to getting that guy down. What an athlete.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Bean. Makes a move. He found some really good running room on that one. It moves as it is. Good return to set up the drive. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen, so you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You've got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Here comes the heat. It's complete to the right. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
Man, a great job by the QB finding the running back, get him the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
Wants to go up top on first down. It's picked off, and that's number 10. Taking it the other way. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Coming out of the tunnel in the third quarter, this quarterback now is really struggling with his decision-making. 2 picks here in the third quarter. This looks like Jekyll and Hyde from what we saw in the first half.
Well, and the bad thing is they're going to be in passing situations. They're coming from behind. They're going to need him to play better. Like, he's going to have to read the field better and make some plays if they want to get back in this football game.
And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
And just a great job by the defense being stout. All right, that's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Soft spot in the middle. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, North Carolina State.
And that's what I think makes this tight end so dynamic. He's so dangerous once he has the ball in his hands. There's so many tight ends out there that are just possession guys. They usually go down right after they catch the ball. This guy has the ability to, with his speed, to make people miss, and he showed it to you right there on that touchdown catch.
He'll bring it out. It's Bean. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, get...
Oh, he's got some space. And he picks up the first down, but he will remember the price he paid after that hit.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them. They're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
Finds his man. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. And the Canes moving quickly to the line. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Miami.
The Canes with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Wants to go up top. Rushes on him. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming. Guys, this offense is already reeling down. Multiple possessions, really need to cash in on this drive. He wants to throw it again. It's complete to the left. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. And the Canes are moving quickly down the field. Looking to throw on first down. And here's the third interception of the night. He stopped, not much on the return, but a whole lot in getting the football.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Good field position to start this drive at their own 47. Use the play fake, now to throw. Finds his back in the middle. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34. Looking for a productive play on first down. Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the wideout. Incomplete and very lucky that one wasn't picked off. And, man, could they have used that? It'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
He's open on the right. Touchdown, NC State! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here in this Week 11 performance. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21.
The quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Give to the running back. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up one.
Well, not a great run there, but I think what the coaching staff is trying to do is they're trying to help out their quarterback. He's thrown interceptions on each of his last two drives. The best way to try to settle him down is to get the running game established. But I think the defense is aware of that right now, loading the box. Everybody up front is ready for the...
Breaks into the open. The 30. He's at the 10. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Miami!
And QBs love their big tight ends, and especially guys that can do such great things after the catch. He catches it. Dang, Palmer, he looks like a daggum receiver after he catches the football.
What a matchup nightmare, too, man. I mean, he's just too big for DBs to cover, and he's too fast for linebackers to cover. If I'm this QB, I'm looking that guy's way a lot more often in this one.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. He'll do it himself. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
We've reached the break. It's NC State on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. One more quarter to go, and it looks as if we are ready to play. Final stanza of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Keeping it on the ground with the running back. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right?
Going for it all. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on second down. They're staring at third.
And he's not done, man. This QB is on a heater. He's already thrown 5 touchdown passes. And here we are late in the game, and he's still taking shots. When you're in a rhythm like that, you feel like any time the ball leaves your fingers, it's landing in your receiver's hands. And oftentimes for this guy today, it's been for touchdowns.
And they found the big fella again, and they found him early and often today. They featured him here in the fourth quarter. Still time left in this football game. I imagine he's going to still continue to get the football thrown his way.
NC State on the move, set up with another first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
And this offensive line's got to do a little better job, man. You've got to give your quarterback time to go through his progressions from go to 1 to 2 and then maybe make a play. And he goes off of his first target, and you could tell he did not have much time getting hit as he's trying.
And it's intercepted, maybe breathing a little life into this team. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Still looking, on the move. Fires on the move. On target over the middle. And you can see the offense just feeling itself. They've got it down to the 21.
I'll tell you, you cannot count this team out because of who's playing quarterback. When this guy's in the game, it's never over. Yeah, they're trailing here in the fourth quarter, but this dude can put up points quickly.
He's got him. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. The Hurricanes want to crank the tempo. Second down, they'll go to the air. They get him up rush, and it pays off the sack at the 20. The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. And man, oh man, he is in the dark tonight. His 4th interception. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. NC State sending the offense back onto the field. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you've got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And, David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
This will be picked off, maybe just the turning point they needed. Touchdown, Hurricane! The defense putting points on the board.
Oh, they could not have come up with a bigger play at a more opportune time. The defense getting the interception and taking it back to the house right at a point in the game when it looked like the offense was maybe going to pad their lead and seal this one. All of a sudden, this game has gotten really interesting.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Boys, throw the records out the window when Baylor and TCU fight to the finish. TCU rolled to victory in front of those fans in Fort Worth who had the Go Frogs hand sign up for 60 minutes. Super Frog was flexing all game, too. As complete a win as they've had for some time. Fun one in the Pac-12, man. They generally are, as the teams there continue to jockey for bowl position.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. North Carolina State has it back on the offense, headed to the field. He's got it down the middle. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Using him out of the slot, he has just been unstoppable.
And I love putting dynamic athletes in the slot that I can move around, that I can put in motion, that I can make him go in or out. I can put him off the ball so you can't get hands on him, and they've really featured this guy today.
Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here.
He corks one deep. And they couldn't make the connection on the long shot.
Quarterback trying to attack the middle of the field. I like the aggressive nature, but his receivers aren't 9 feet tall. No one's going to catch that. No one can climb the ladder. You got to bring it down a little bit.
They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. And it's intercepted. A huge fourth quarter play for this defense.
Well, what a play by the defense there. Trailing here in the fourth quarter by 1 possession. Able to steal it away now and put their offense in position to at least go tie this game.
And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. That last drive was a punch in the gut, throwing the pick in the red zone, Jesse.
Yeah, and it just seemed like there was some miscommunication down there in the red zone. David, this drive, the QB and receivers just have to do a better job being on the same page.
Yeah, and I think you pull the positives, right? We moved the football down the field. We had a chance to score, but we can't let those opportunities slip between our hands. Let's go get some points.
Oh, they're after him. And that is his 5th interception, a nightmare he is not waking up from. There he goes to the right. Touchdown, Wolfpack. And they turn it into a defensive score. They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3.
I'll tell you what, as a DB, you're lucky if you get 1 pick six in your entire football life. This guy had one last game. He's got one this game. Quarterbacks are going to stop throwing his way.
He'll bring it out. It's Bean. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. To the air on 1st down. Moves around to clear up the vision. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. It's caught, and what a job to get the foot down and make it a huge gain along the sideline. He finally goes out of bounds, but you better check that laundry on the field. From the gun. Gliding to the right, still trying to make a play. Makes a grab on the shot. Gashes the heart of the knee. What a play to get it inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17.
And that is such an accurate throw. It's one thing to do it from the pocket when you have your feet set underneath you, but when you can get outside, off schedule, on the move, and throw a dart like that time, and the offense gets a huge explosive play.
Pocket breaking down. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And this is a tough time for this offense because you're in passing mode. You're in comeback mode, and the defense knows that. Like, they're pinning their ears back. They're coming after the quarterback, and you've already struggled protecting your guy today.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. So close to that end zone. He could almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle. The hurry up now, 2nd down, clock ticking. Steps away to find some room. This is caught for the late touchdown, so let's not put this one to bed just yet.
Well, the good news is you scored a touchdown. You've made this a 1-possession game. The bad news is you got to get the ball back. So if you're the head coach, you got to start thinking, how are we going to do that? Are we going onside kick, or do we trust our defense to give it back to the O?
And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Fellas, take a peek at what's happening in this interesting battle in the MAC. Ball State is just getting blown off the field right now. I mean, like them or hate them, I think anyone would agree this is tough to watch. They're trailing by 33 to Kansas. Any big developments here on the MAC, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, guys.
And how about that one? Devin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They'll start this drive at their own 48. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Well, it was a good throw. It was a good route, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
After the incompletion, they go back up top. Makes the grab. Turning it on. Bust through behind his pad. And he'll be forced out of bounds, but not before yet another big play in this passing attack. NC State will try to just bleed the clock. Looking downfield on first down. Lets it fly deep downfield. And he reels it in for a touchdown, and that just might seal it.
That is exactly what you want your offense to do. You want it to eat clock, but if you score, go up by 2 possessions, nail meet coffin, great execution by this offense to put this game away.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Going right to work up top. Quarterback now breaking the field. Here's a throw downfield late. Nearly another interception. It'll be second down.
This offense isn't calling the dogs off in this game. We're here late. They're still taking shots, and a big reason why is how good this quarterback has been all game long. 4 touchdown passes. He's reading the defense. He's playing in rhythm. He's throwing on time. He's been accurate. And late in the game, they're still letting him take shots.
And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down. Offense rushing to the line of scrimmage. Clock is stopped for the first down. They'll try to get it off quickly. He's taking the deep shot. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Here he goes. And he gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch. He's looking to throw. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1. The offense uses a timeout. 15 seconds left to play. Looking for just 1 more yard. It's second and goal. Touchdown, Canes! They wanted to finish, and that they did on that possession.
Well, you get the touchdown, but there's not a lot of time left. So you need to get the onside kick. You may have time for 1 more play, 1 shot to throw it in the end zone and somehow see if you can steal this game.
And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. They put together a 5-play, 75-yard drive. It was capped off by a 1-yard touchdown pass. The Hands team out there to avert disaster, and so they do. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here. Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation. Don't want to risk anything here. The quarterback takes a knee. So after stumbling around a bit earlier this season, they put together 3 consecutive wins and seem to have righted the ship.
Dang right. How do you handle adversity? Every coach